Here are 7 farms you can do on failed league starters to gain enough currency to either fix your build or respec into another. I've ranked these with number 1 being the absolute easiest farm and should be doable on every single build, and with number 7 requiring a build that's a little bit more functional and can't be totally scuffed. We've got that little sliding scale there. Let me know if you think I missed any, and I'll add it to the pinned comment below the video. So make sure you check that out to see if anybody gave some really good suggestions that I didn't think about that I can add to my cleverly rebranded white map currency strategy video for the next league. All right, number 7 on the list is Legion blasting. Now, Legion is profitable in white maps, red maps, yellow maps, any map at all. Legion is great. You get a lot of currency, fossils, essences. You might get a nice enchant base. It kind of just gives bubblegum everything. And emblems really aren't the money maker in Legion anymore. It's going to be all the incubators and the rewards that you can get from them, all of the raw currencies and all of the potential fractured items. Even on low item level bases, you might be able to get a little lucky. Although you'd probably just want to focus on the currencies and all the bubblegum stuff if you're farming this in white maps. It requires a kind of specific build, right? If you're doing this, you kind of just want to be a squishy bow build that isn't ready yet to farm in red maps with red map altars, or some other high clear build that it just isn't ready for red maps for one reason or another. This one doesn't work very well for everyone. So let's move on to number 6, which is going to be, you already know it. You knew it was coming. It's going to be Expedition. Okay, Expedition, it's super easy. It's great. You do need a functional build though. Your build has to have its resistances capped. You've got to have some armor or, you know, some physical mitigation. You got to have something there, right? There's got to be a little meat on the bone. So that's why it's number 6. It's not as easy as some of the later ones. You get a lot of raw bubblegum currency from Tujin. If you get random logbooks, do them, mother truckers, okay? Do the Black Scythe logbooks, do any sun logbooks you get. And if you don't mind a little bit of Roggin, you could do the Rog books and pog out, trying to grind out that suppression gear or following our Rog guide, which we do have on Maxroll, or you can just type it into Google or YouTube, and I'm sure something will come up. I'd recommend just going Stream of Consciousness, by the way, and get that Oppenheimer node, explode that whole thing all in one. And it should make it very fast and should allow you to kind of just blast some maps and get some currency pretty easy. Speaking of blasting maps and getting easy currency, here's a cult classic. Everybody loves this. Every single league start, people will blast this in white maps for the first 4 days of the league. And that's going to be Essence Bestiary. The beasts are great. You hold on to them for a little bit. You're not going to sell them on, you know, the first few days. Some of them you would. But some of the imprint stuff, you kind of want to sit on that for a little bit. And by sit on that, I mean, like, if you get one, you're just not selling it day 1. Okay, don't sit on this for like 2 weeks or something. You just want to sell it on day 1 or 2. That's all I'm saying. Essences though, okay, you're just farming them. It's so easy. You get so many of them. It actually, I don't know. I want to farm. Just like, think about it right now. You open a map, there's like 3, 4 essences in there. You corrupt them. Boom, you get an essence of delirium. You got an insanity. It duped because there's a shrieking in there. And your inventory is just full of essences. You throw them in the tab. And then you go into another map. You do this for hours and you look at your tab. Hundreds of essences. God, isn't that just a great feeling? Like, I'm going to log in and farm essences right now before the league's even started. It's a fun one. It's good. It's satisfying. And it's easy as hell if you do it in whichever whatever white map is a really good one, right? You want like a strand. You just want whatever layout you find is super enjoyable. You just get to choose that and you get to do it and nothing else matters because you're getting hundreds of essences and that's great. In white maps too, they're really not that rippy. If you got up to the point of your build where you're trying to do red maps and you just can't cut it, if you go back down to white maps, bro, it's like Rock Lee taking the weights off, straight up. White maps, it's just free. It's free. Now, you cannot do this if you're struggling. If you just got out of the campaign and you're like struggling in your first few maps, obviously, if you're struggling in white maps, this is not the strategy for you. You got to get that figured out with some of our future strategies, okay? One of them being number 4, which is, of course, another perennial video released every single league, every single 3 months by TPB, telling you to roll your sextants because it makes currency. Wait for it. I tell you, just wait 2 weeks. I'll have the video out. Keep your eyes peeled. Sextant Rolling. It's number 4 because while being extremely profitable, it does require some seed currency to start. That's why it's not a very, very good one. You need a little bit of meat in your stash tab to be able to start doing this strategy. Sure, you could do it on maybe like 20 chaos and you just like buy, maybe you get like a lucky one or something. You know, this is kind of like, I've only got like 1 or 2 div and I kind of just need to make some currency. You know, if you got a couple and it just isn't enough, you don't think, to fix your build, you can get on and start rolling some sextants. Hell yeah, brother. Check out the Sextant Rolling video. Link down in the description from last league until I update it to the one I do this league. Number 3 is farming blight maps. I'm talking buying a white, yellow, or red blighted map, putting that in there, anointing it, and running that. It's super easy. These are doable on damn near every build that has capped resistances and more than 2,000 life. You only need to have the towers down and 2 ring anoints, which you can choose some pretty cheap ones. There are 2 strategies for doing blight maps right now. The one that I found works the best is a combination of doing freeze towers and stun towers on every major lane or any choke point in your blight map, and then having an empower tower there, and then you just do some meteor towers, and if you can afford the burning ground meteor anointment for your ring, that's a great one, because that burning ground will work against monsters that are immune to the fire towers, because it's Path of Exile, baby, and there's just going to be a bunch of random stupid like that, okay? So yeah, then you only have to build meteor towers, and you don't even have to worry about immunities or whatever the hell from the blight portals. Okay, so you got that strategy. Everything's stunned, everything's frozen, and they're burning. The other one that works, may still work, I'm not sure, haven't tested it in a little bit, is literally just spamming a bunch of scout towers. Let me know, comment down below if that still works. I don't know, but this used to be the strat. All you do is just spam the minion tower and you make it a scout, and you just keep doing that, and you just spam them, and now you have like 200 dudes just constantly shooting everything on the screen. These weird little like bat things doing weird laser stuff. It's just great. And yeah, it's just a strategy that works. You just keep building those. I don't know. It's just, Blight's just that easy. Okay. It's just, Blight is there for you to be able to make currency if you messed up. If you can afford a few Blight maps, boom, you're golden. Now, this next strategy, listen up, listen up. You can actually do it alongside the Blight map, and you should, because you're broke. And you know what you got to do when you're broke? You got to do stuff you don't want to do. And number 2 is something nobody wants to do. I haven't done it in years. That's the chaos recipe. Okay, I get it. Chaos recipe, it's kind of annoying. You know, if you don't know, the chaos recipe is, so you grab every single item that you see in your inventory slot, that, you know, 2 rings, a belt, etc., etc. You grab all of those, you make sure they're unidentified and item level 60 to 74. So this is like high, this is getting into yellow maps. Is when this stops, and then you start getting regals, which aren't as good as chaos. So you just stick with the lower item level, which is perfect because you can't even do red maps anyways, and you're a brokey. 60 to 74 also means that you can do this before you even reach maps or in lower level content, right? Let's say like, dude, maps are actually crazy rough. You can just go back, farm the cathedral zone in Act 10 if you want, and you can do some chaos recipe there, or blood aqueducts. At some point, you will outlevel the zone and it'll stop dropping gear. So, you know, at that point, you're kind of forced into other stuff. Yeah, chaos recipe, it's kind of annoying. You're picking up a lot of unidentified gear. It kind of sucks, but it goes along well with a lot of these strategies. Blight maps, you know, the stopgap for chaos recipe is normally jewelry. In blight maps, you're going to get a lot, in the blighted map farming, you're going to get a lot of those jewelry chest rewards. If you're doing like white maps, if you're doing Legion, Expedition, any of this stuff, you're going to get a lot of random unidentified rare stuff that you can do the chaos recipe super easy on, which leads us into our next one, which is 1.5, because I forgot to put it on my list because I'm a dummy until I brought up chaos recipe, and that is heisting. Heisting is great and goes hand in hand with chaos recipes, as you get a ton of unidentified jewelry and unidentified rare gear in a lower item level, because you can start this before you even reach maps, but you should kind of just wait until you reach maps and look up a heist guide. Heist is great. It's super easy and you get a bunch of stuff. Heist is just great. It's a great moneymaker. Shout out Lang in the Discord, okay? Our heist homie. I salute everybody who farms heist. I can't really explain heist in what's supposed to be a concise video of me stalling for 10 minutes while we all wait for the next league to start. So yeah, just go ahead and check out a Heist guide. Just look it up on YouTube or check it out on Max Roll. But yeah, 1.5 guys, it's pretty good. Okay, Heist is a good one. If you've never done Heist before, super recommended. Okay, number 1, the absolute bomb.com, the easiest farm, easiest thing you could do for currency. Okay, you can do this from Act 2 onwards. That is, it's the Palm Classic. Alteration rolling your flasks for profit. You can alt spam flasks and make currency. You just buy a higher item level base. Alterations, you get them by vendoring identified rare gear. So it's super easy to get the materials you need, right? You just buy, like, you don't even have to get a flask base from a high item level or anything. You could just start on random crappy item levels that just get the good roll. This is going to be stuff like armor, evasion rating, attack caster move speed, reduced effective curses, critical strike chance. If you get these on a flask and you augment it, especially these, they're good on their own. They're already good on their own. But if you augment into something like gain 3 charges when you're hit, which is a high item level mod, you will need to buy bases for that, or reduced charges used, increased duration, or charge recovery, or sometimes the flash charge on crit node. All of these can be really, really good as long as you don't hit the one that gives you less duration. Just don't augment into that. Okay, alt spam on flasks, augment spam on flasks. It's great for currency. It's probably the number 1 easiest thing that you could do. It takes absolutely no build at all, and you can do it from even crazy early on in the acts. Personally, if my build is absolutely effed in Act 5, I'm just done, bro. I'm gonna re-roll, okay? But maybe there's a dude out there that needs an Act 5 currency strat. Okay, that one's for you. This works great if you're in maps already. Okay, because you have a chaos, you have like 5C, and you get to buy 5 flask bases, and then you go from there. Make sure if you're doing this to use the awaken trade macro, because you might ask me, well, what do I price these at? And you just price check it. You press Control, then Alt, then D. You hover over the item while you're doing that, and you just click on the mods, right? Click on armor, and if you've got a increased charge recovery, then you click on that too, and you see what that costs on whichever base you got it on. So you'd want to be rolling on, obviously, the good ones. All of the flasks you would find in max roll build guides are all of the flasks that you should be rolling. That's a pretty easy way to get some currency. Anyways, hopefully none of you actually have to do any of this scuff stuff. Hopefully everybody's able to get to red maps, but unfortunately, that's not the reality for a lot of gamers out there. Okay, so have fun with these. Let me know how they go. Comment down below if you've got some extra ones you think I missed. Thank God I didn't miss Heist, by the way. That one's insane. Okay, 1.5, deserved. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck on League Start. Bye.